All right, hello everybody and welcome to the stream. This is Building FreePort, episode 6, the series where I build cities for my book in the game Cities Skylines. And I say the word cities many, many times because that's the way this works. I'm going to jump right in today and we are going to get started. I have some big news. I'm just going to start with the big book-related news. I guess of the week, since last week I streamed Kerbal for a sort of special Kerbal stream on Tuesday since the White Guardian had finished the Cerulean Planet Pack and I went to Disparia in Kerbal Space Program. So since I didn't have a chance to really go over the news last week, I thought I would cover it today. So the big news is that for those of you following the book, I finished my initial writing of the sequel to End of the Past, which as of now is untitled. I don't really have any information I'm going to share with you about that because that's what the author-publisher event that I'm having in May is going to be for. But I did finish the initial draft of Volume 2. So the sequel is finished as far as being written. So the next steps are to revise and then edit, because those two things in my mind are different. Revision is not the same as editing. Revision to me, at least I've thought about it in terms of writing, revision is more of looking at the story, looking at what you're building, and making major changes or changing the scope of what you're doing, whereas editing is sort of a line-by-line actual adjustment. That's the fine-tuning. That's the making it publishing worthy. So the next step is revision, not editing. I'm not sure how long that will take, but you can go ahead and actually help me get the book finished and out sooner by becoming a supporter on Patreon. For those of you who are fans of the book, go ahead and take a look at the links on my website or the channel dashboard, but that would be a really great way to help out. So that's the big news for today. As far as what we're working on, I am switching over to... I want to get a lot of the neighborhoods really fleshed out here in the Northern Housing District and get those building. And I'm a little concerned, since I am a bit of a novice at this game, I'm a little concerned that the scope and scale of my city is a bit large. I have a feeling that I'm going to start getting a lot of really grumpy people because I have just too much space with not enough going on in it. I'm not sure if that's actually... Well, what I'm worried is that I'm going to have a whole bunch of abandoned buildings and people aren't going to be moving in. You can see I've got a lot more space zone than is actually being used, and all of these buildings are abandoned. So I'm going to have to go and fix those, but I want to get some of these twisting neighborhood roads built before I do that. I want a lot more space for people to live, and I will be adding parks to it shortly. One of these neighborhoods that I'm working on is a cul-de-sac, which sort of, not going to spoil anything, but it does feature in the second book, so I want to actually make sure I get that specifically. And that is, so that's the university here. It's not too near the university. It's actually over in this direction. So there's a road that comes out and it curves slightly before looping around and connecting back to the main road. Okay, I've never done sort of a cul-de-sac in this game. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to look or work. She lives on a cul-de-sac. It's not terribly long, but I'm going to go ahead and see how it works with the circle tool. I know that probably the basic premise of building a roundabout will work. I just got to kind of make sure I'm precise with it. I think taking it to oops, I want to try and be fairly precise to see if it actually works out, and I think this looks like it's actually going to be pretty decent. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. There are houses all around it. Obviously not one in the center, but I think that actually looks pretty good for a basic cul-de-sac. Obviously, you've got just a one-way in, one-way out road. I'm going to do a few more of those. I actually should have probably made an asset of those. That would have made this a little bit easier in the asset editor. Okay, me talk good. In the asset editor to make a bunch of roundabouts. That would have made this easier to place several of them. Since this region, that's primarily what the neighborhoods look like. There are a bunch of roundabouts. So I'm going to go ahead and add a few more of varying sizes. So I went out, one, then came up one. So I went up one, right? Correct me if I'm doing this wrong. There we go. Yeah, I think. Then we come over one, and then down one, and then we come down one. There, that actually, that looks pretty good. I like the way that looks. So in the book, this region is more affluent than some of the other housing areas, and it's a little bit older, so it has some interesting architecture and street layout. That's why you get more of the curved roads that sort of conform to the natural hills and bumps, as opposed to the grid of the more tightly packed cities, or I mean residential and marketing areas throughout the city. So it's a little bit more fun to make, and visually it's a little bit more interesting to have this as well. Since last episode, I was sort of looking around at the state of the city and questioning how it looked as far as precision, because my goal when I started this was to get it as, one-to-one exactly accurate as possible to the book. And I realized that, especially not having played this game before starting the series, I bought it just for this and goofed off with it just a little bit before starting, but I had never played this prior to starting the series. So I was a little disappointed that I couldn't get it super, super precise. You'll see some of the roads aren't exact. I mean, I'm not talking about the zigzags, of course. But the gaps and the spacing, they're just sort of not quite at 90-degree angles as I was originally planning. But then I had a thought, and I realized something when I was taking a look at it, is that in the book, FreePort is one of the oldest and largest cities, and it's a capital city. So it's been on the port, so it's been around for a really long time, and it's gone through many changes in its more than 1,000-year history. And I like the idea that these roads aren't straight intentionally. That the city was never built with its current size in mind. So what's happened is that as it's grown, people have had to sort of shoehorn neighborhoods and streets in different places. Some areas might grow, some areas might die down, and this changes, over hundreds of years. And what ends up happening is that people don't build roads according to one master plan. They didn't, take the city. They didn't say, okay, this is the plan we have for a city. Let's build exactly this, and then put everything down at once, like I'm doing with the game. Rather, it was built, I guess, as necessary, as they needed it to expand, or as events changed things in the city. So that would actually explain the lack of precision. It's a city whose lack of precision and curving, unequal roads is sort of a testament to its history. So I like the idea that the city's personality is even represented in some of these uneven roads, that you can see sort of a taste and a hint of the history just by looking at how uneven the roads are. I mean, granted, there are some places that are pretty exact, but there are others that aren't. And I just like the idea that, that is a quirk and a characteristic of the city just because of how long it's been around. I mean, I have a feeling most cities that you would look at that are really old are not going to be, unless they've been completely demolished and rebuilt, aren't going to be perfect or exact, because they've had to grow and change and adapt to years and years and years of influences. And that's sort of how I see FreePort. So I like the way that it's shaping up, and I like the idea of that. So not only am I not going to worry about having to make it super precise, I'm actually going to embrace that and keep up the lack of precision. I mean, I'm not just going to take a hammer and mash roads in wherever they fit and go, whatever. But I am, going to embrace that as I build and not worry about it and actually sort of plan that strategically. And it makes it easy, makes it convenient that I'm still learning the game so that it actually looks, the lack of precision fits the game and my skills. I'm going to do a few more of these roundabouts before I start zoning them, and then I'm going to do some cross streets. But I do like the way this looks, this neighborhood area. I do think that's pretty cool. And it's sort of, it fits very much the vision I had with what the city, this region of the city looks like. But yes, I really should make a roundabout asset. And I'll probably do that for next time so that I can just plop them in much, much easier. Not that this is particularly difficult or anything, it'd be a little less time consuming. As you can probably see, I do not have the game playing. That's because whenever I let it run, since it's so large and I don't have everything completely zoned, what tends to happen is people move out of their houses and lots of little grumpy faces appear down there because apparently I'm pissing everyone off by doing things wrong and I don't know, whoops, I want that curved. Apparently I'm just irritating everyone by doing everything absolutely wrong, and I don't know how to fix that entirely, so I don't want to let it play when I'm not controlling everything exactly. So I want to build things and then let it unfold. In some instances, specifically with things like this, I want to do that. When I'm adding power and water, that's not as big of a deal, but for something like this, it's a little bit more important. So I'm going to do something a little different here. Still roundabout, or still little cul-de-sac roundabout areas, but I'm going to have sort of like satellite ones sticking out from either end. Get it spot on. Yeah, I really like the way these look. I think it'll give a nice flow to the traffic as well when people start moving in, because so far, apparently, yeah, there's a little smiley face down there, but apparently everyone's just real mad about what I've been building. I mean, people are getting sick and dying. They're complaining about corpses piling up in their backyard, but, I mean, it's not my problem if they can't do something with their corpses before the crematorium is up and running. I mean, not my issue, but they seem to think it is, so they just keep sending nasty letters saying, we don't like dead bodies in our backyard. Would you mind taking them to the bin? So that's why I'm not pressing play to let this run through, because when I do, people get grumpy, and I want to eliminate the grumps. Dagnabbit. There we go. I want to eliminate the grumps as much as possible. There we go. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's looking pretty good, I would say. I'm going to add just a few more. Again, this up here is FreePort University. I don't have a really good asset to represent it. But actually, that's... I might want to... Yeah, so that's a university, but that looks tiny. I will need to do some dorms around it, but that just looks super tiny. I might actually put 2 of them there until I can find maybe a major university asset. Let me actually go ahead and put 2 of them there, if I can remember where they are, because FreePort University is actually pretty large. Was it a unique building? Nope, I don't think it was a unique building. Hopefully it wasn't. I don't know why a school... Oh, wait, no, it's an education. My bad, it's been a while since I did Kerbal last time, so it's been a while. My bad. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to stick 2 there just to sort of represent that it's a big area. And while I'm thinking about it, let me go ahead and put some dorms around that. I do want straight lines for this. Let's see, actually, I'm going to have that gently curve. Right there, yeah. Then we will do more straight lines. I'm going to stick it out just a little bit. I want to make sure I have enough space that I'm not blocking off the university at all. And there we go. So this is where the dorms are going to be. I'm going to do a few rows of these. And I'm actually going to make these be high density, just because it usually has taller buildings, and I think that would look a little bit more appropriate for a dorm or, you know, on-campus housing. Let me try and get this. What am I? Oh, the power lines. That's okay. I will just go back and fix those in a moment. Because now I don't think there's going to be any power, but I can fix that quite quickly. It was getting power. Sneak it across. There we go. Now both of them should be getting power. Yeah, let me go ahead and zone these really quick for high density, since I think that would have a better look of dorms than, say, the low density, which you might get an individual house, and I don't really think that would look too good for what I'm trying to accomplish here. Now I will put some, let's see, make sure I'm getting my roads out here. I am going to put sort of a little market area. The idea being here that this is sort of a little community with bookstores, cafes, things like that, that the students frequent. It's not necessarily officially part of the university, but it is it is shops and things like that that sort of sprung up naturally around it. So let me go ahead and zone that. Obviously, that's low density commercial. I don't need high rises there. Let's fill that in. That should cover all of that. Perfect. That doesn't look too bad, I would say. I think we do need a little bit more housing, so I'm going to continue the roads up this way. And I do want another curved one. I like the idea of having that curved just a tiny bit. There. And then we will have the straight roads connect back poorly, I should say. Since we didn't quite get that straight, we'll go like that. Then maybe we'll have this one come over and I will connect that later. But I will have these come straight up. That's not quite wide enough. Oh yeah, that one is curved. Maybe if I do another little curved road here. Okay, and I'll see if I can't get one more here. Yeah, that looks quite nice, I would say. At least as far as what I envision, I think that pretty much nails it. Let's finish these off. Then, since you'll see that this is sort of the edge in the highway up there, I'm going to actually do lower density housing here. Whoops. And the idea is that that's some of, not the slums I'm going to say, but sort of the cheaper housing that's a little bit farther away. So a lot of this is going to be a bit cheaper housing. I'm going to do that for this row up here. And maybe right down here. And I will have that mixing in just a little bit. The rest, I'm going to go back to the high density. And I want a few. So like I said before, I don't want this to be exactly even. I like the idea of sort of a natural flow in a city. And if you put a little bit of the commercial in with this, the idea is that, you know, some little buildings have been converted, like cafes have been, homes have been converted from cafes, or into cafes, I should say, and there are restaurants and little bookstores that are made out of actual houses. So I like the idea that they're just sort of mixed in here, not quite randomly, but with a more natural feel than something that has been completely pre-planned. So I'm just going to put those in. Okay, now we can go back to working on the cul-de-sacs and the roads through here, and then I'm going to press play and start demolishing some of the real bad rubbish buildings that apparently everyone has left because they're really upset with me for some reason. Like I said before, I've had no practice being a mayor slash deity in the world of City Skylines, so if they're complaining, that's on them. I'm trying to learn. I mean, I'm trying to help them, but all they want to do is complain, so that is entirely on them. That's okay. We will try and make them happy, just if we don't make them happy immediately, well, nothing we can do about that. Well, nothing I can do that I care to do about that. Okay, I think I'm going to put a couple more right down there. Let's have a long road that connects. What? There we go. Connects right there, and then let's do a couple branching off. make sure I have enough room for them. And then we will do curved again. So let's see, we bring it up there. Yeah, these are going to be more or less even if I keep doing the same process like that. So luckily I've got it down. I don't need to worry too much about not having an asset. Still, would be nice. I might go ahead and make one before next episode. There we go. Maybe one more for now. I don't want it to come off the main road. I don't like the idea that the neighborhood's right off the main road, especially in this... Okay, I don't like the idea that a cul-de-sac is right off the main road, but it can be near it. Stick one there. Okay. And I do need to work on the Parks District today. I need to put in some of the facilities down. Where are we? Down here. You'll see I have it almost ready. I'm not going to actually zone any of this because none of this is actually housing or... well, I might do a little bit of commercial, but this is where most of these sports fields are. You know, I've got the stadium there, but I need to add a few more, so I will be doing that shortly. Let's zone all of this that I just built. This is obviously low density since they are nice, affluent, large homes. I don't want the high density. I don't want high-rise looking structures. So let me just try and blanket all of this in one go, or at least mostly one go, because when you have corners like this, it takes forever. So yeah, let me see if I can't just autofill this quickly. Don't want to reach up there just yet. Let's see. I don't want to hit the places near the highway either. That's why I'm trying to be a little bit more precise. I know I can delete it, but I would rather just be precise the first time and go from there. Whoop. Yeah, I think it's time to start using our Philly-bit tool. Let me zoom in here a little bit. So in May, as I was saying at the beginning, is when we're going to have the event with the owner of my publishing company join us. I'm not sure how far along I'm going to be in building the city, because obviously the going is a lot slower than I thought it would, since everyone's a lot needier than I thought they would be. But in the off chance that FreePort is completely done, I do have plans to start building more of the cities throughout the book afterwards, so I will go ahead and start doing that. Just, I guess, not worst case scenario, but if that just happens, I'm gonna start on new cities, and I will, once I near completion on these, I am going to be uploading this to the Steam Workshop so that you can download this and play with it and tinker with it if you want, and hopefully be a better city leader and city planner than I am. But I will be uploading these for anyone that is interested. I will mention more about that as I get closer to finishing this up. Let me add these. I will need to add some power here before I turn everything loose. And oh, I do need to do probably the water. So that's a good thing to remember, is to make sure there's water. So let me check out the power situation here. Actually, there's some lines pretty close. I'm just going to drag a few right up here and hope that these places build up around the power lines. Well, they should, because I don't want to start dragging power lines everywhere. I'll sort of see where they pop up and go from there. I really hate having just a massive network of power lines. And ideally, once more of the city is built up, I'm going to actually go back and delete all of them once they're connected to the grid, because in the book, at least, there aren't major power lines just stretching across the horizon as far as the eye can see. We do need water. Let's see what the water situation... Terrible. The water situation is absolutely terrible. Yep, makes sense. So let's go ahead and give these people some water. I am going to need to put a few more treatment plants, because as you can see, the availability is not very... I mean, it's high, but once all these start growing, it's likely going to need a whole lot more. And because this is such a random shape, I'm going to need to pretty much blanket the entire thing with pipes with as little overlap as possible. Yes, this is the fun part where we lay pipe after pipe after pipe to cover all of these. But luckily, when I go ahead and fill this out with the rest of the neighborhoods later, it's already going to be done, so I won't need to worry about it. That being said, this is the fun part, right? Laying pipe after pipe for real bad stinky sludge water. So I'm going to go ahead and continue that after I turn my phone off because I forgot to put it on silent. And yes, that was a, I don't know if you guys could hear that. That was a Pikachu notification sound that I have for my texts because, you know, actually, might as well show this thing off really quick. I don't know if you guys can see this. I got this, the date on it. Let's see if, I'm not sure if you guys can read that. I'm going to try and hold it up. I'm just looking here. If you can't read that, that says 1997. I got this right when I don't even remember where it came from. I'm sure some of you will recognize it. And yeah, that most of that is in Japanese. So basically an original Pikachu. I don't remember where I got it, but I know it was right around the time that I got my first copy of Red. But it's still, let's see if you can hear that. It still works, so I can't believe, speaking of Pikachus, I can't believe it still works. Little side note, I've had this for, 20 years now, and it still works, and it still sits on my desk. So anyway, fixing the slightly derailed show. Actually, that's not slightly derailed. You know, I talk about games have had just as big of an influence on my writing and my life as books have. So that's completely irrelevant. And because Pikachu is amazing, that's worth showing. Of course, I missed one little part. So yeah, if anybody remembers where that came from or knows anything more about that, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I would love to know more about that. I completely forgot where it came from, and I'm sure it was something pretty obvious, but I've kept it around for 20 years, and little squeaker still works, and it still sounds pretty good. So I'm glad I've kept that on my desk for all these years. Speaking of Pokemon, because I guess today is Talk About Pokemon Day, since we are just laying pipe, and laying pipe silently is, exceptionally entertaining, right? Speaking of Pokemon, I do have my original Gen 1 Pokemon cards still in a box. The base set, I think, yeah, the base set. I still have my original. I have my holographic Charizard and a bunch of other fairly rare and unique ones. I still have those in almost perfect condition, sitting in a box in my closet just back there. So if anyone is a Pokemon card fan, not that I've really touched them much in 20 years, but if anyone's a Pokemon card fan, let me know, and I can bring them out and show them off on one of the episodes sometime. I would love to do that. That would actually be a lot of fun. So what's the issue here? That's just power, right? But we are connected, and when I press play, I think that's going to work. Just to make these whiners happy, let's go ahead and throw some park stuff in, and then I'm going to press play and let things continue to build as I demolish the houses. So the first thing we need are, let's see, other parks. Basketball court. We are going to put a bunch of little courts, parks throughout. So we've got a track and field. I'm just going to place a bunch of these in this area. I will do some overlap. Things like basketball courts, obviously you can have more than one. Except I've noticed that it's hard to rotate parks sometimes. I don't know why exactly. But I'm going to go ahead and put a bunch of courts because, the idea is that when you go to a park, you don't just see one individual court. You see a bunch of courts all lined up. And, of course, we need, where's the old Poo Dog Park? For letting your dog off the leash and having it make dog dumps with its mates. There we go, dog park. I'm going to put that closer to this side. over here. And yes, I will need to put plenty of power for all these, but I'm going to put a couple of those together. Because it is a pet-friendly city after all. Japanese garden. The botanical stuff I'm going to put up on the north just a little bit. The playgrounds actually should go over with some of the basketball courts. Let's see. Small park, playground, park with trees. If I can get this to fit somewhere. Here we go. Right up against that so that it looks like it's all one big flowing park area. I don't want the playground. I just put the dog park. Let's see. I do have some other assets that the amphitheaters are going to go up in the forested region. I'm going to put those there later. There are paths. And the same with the gazebo. No, that's not a gazebo. That's a carousel. But the gazebos, I'm going to put there as well. The idea there is that there are going to be little paths through the sort of wooded part of the park. And there are going to be little picnic areas. That's what the gazebos are going to be for. So I'm going to put some of those. Let's see, what have we here? Medieval market. So there are markets. Let's see. I'm going to put it on this side so it doesn't interfere. And I haven't actually used that before, so I hope that it doesn't require a road connection for people to access. That looks... I wonder if those are roads or paths. I'm going to say that that's a path, but if not, I'll have to go back and actually add roads. But I'm going to say those are paths and connect those with the rest of the paths over here. Like that, just to make sure people can walk to and from them. Yeah, these are roads down here. It looks like it might be a road. I'm not sure. Even if it is, adding some paths, I think will be just fine. And as I've said many times, I'm going to do the beautification stuff where I put the actual trees and the flowers sort of last. I still have a lot to do before I get to that point, but I will be adding that. So I have not forgotten about that. It's just yet to come. There's still a lot to do before it gets anywhere near finished. I'm just checking to make sure there isn't anything major that I need there before I turn the game loose. Oh, let me put the power. Actually, do I have power to that? Oh, convenient, a line right here. That's nice. Like I said, I will be deleting these once the power grid is more established because I really hate the way the power lines look. I'm sure I'm not alone, especially when I'm trying to recreate a city that doesn't actually have major power lines like that. Let me just connect one over here. Okay, let's turn this loose and start bulldozing the real awful city, or the real awful buildings that everyone wants me to get rid of. So let's start destroying some of these. Abandoned building, yes, that's what I'm working on. Okay, bye. See, oh, my bad. Is that a 2-lane? No, that's a 2-lane, right? That's not 3, is it? Nope, that's 2. And, oh, still have it uncurved. My bad. And for some reason, now it doesn't want to fit. Okay, we will turn on anarchy to make sure it fits. There. Actually, that looks a little wrong. Okay, let's fix that quickly. Turn off anarchy because if I don't have to use it, I want to make sure everything looks proper. There we go. Problem solved. I do need to rezone those really quick, but that is a quick fix. There. Okay, let's get back to destroying buildings that nobody lives in or uses. Actually, now I do have the Better Bulldozer tool, and I could use that and just set it to destroy buildings. However, not all of these need it, so I don't want to just nuke the whole place. That would actually be worse than just having some abandoned buildings, since I would delete absolutely everything. But let's... oh, man. Yeah, as you can tell, I seem to be a little bit overconfident in my abilities. It says outside connection needed. I don't know why, because obviously the highway is working, but I'm going to ignore that problem because I've got many, many problems on my plate as it is. Here we go, another abandoned one, another abandoned building. Did I see another one up here? Yes, the hunt is on. Okay. Let's see if there are any down in the residential area. So again, this is the area where the book takes place. What's their problem? Everyone always needing something. Citizens are sick. Okay, well, go to the doctor. I put doctor's offices. It's up to you to use them, you lazy bums. Whatever. Just going to scan for more abandoned buildings. I hear tinging and dinging. Okay, the population is going up, even though I'm destroying buildings. That's a good thing, I want to say. No workers. Well, maybe more people need to move in. Yeah, I don't think... oh, there's one. I think that covers it. Okay. Yeah, let's go check out our healthcare. Okay, how's our healthcare? Okay, why are you sick if there's a doctor's office and a hospital right there? Never going to understand that. Whatever. Okay, that doesn't have power for some reason. Let's try and drag a line across the street here. And what is that little patch of... okay, I'm not sure what that patch is. I will obviously have to remedy that. It's the random patch o' things, I guess. If I could connect this, maybe. Still not close enough, of course. And I do have anarchy on. Okay. Maybe... yeah, this is going to be... this really doesn't want to make it easy, does it? There we go. Enjoy your power, you fools. Oh, and we got another place without power. That one's much easier. There we go. Okay, let's check our services. Crime rate is low. Jails are high. Let's check education. Elementary school. We do need more elementary schools. We have a few over here. Let me stick one right there. That should help those people. Let's start adding services here. So I'm going to put an elementary school. I don't want them in the cul-de-sacs. I will put them near the cul-de-sacs because, you know, kids who tend to live at home tend to go to school, and that just sort of makes sense. I'm going to put a bunch of elementaries that will service these regions. Now I want a high school. I don't want the university yet. I need to put some the high schools, and I like the idea that the high schools and the elementary schools in the city are very close together. So that's why, for the most part, I'm going to double up on these. Something about... okay, well, I don't see any congestion there, so I'm not going to worry about that notification. Probably need some up here, don't we? And yes, I am using the medieval elementary asset because I love the way that looks. Okay, let's give them some power, shall we? Yes, we need a lot of that. Okay, that one should get it. Let's keep coming down from here. We'll follow everything along. That should get it too. I'm going to try and overlap with the areas that have been zoned as little as possible so that it doesn't interfere with the growth. And then I will be, as I mentioned, deleting all the power lines because they real ugly. I mean, I could see a case for them if you want your city to look a specific way and you want them to be visible, but I just want to delete them as soon as I can. I guess they're not inherently bad, they're not in the book and they don't look appealing, at least to me, so I will be ditching those as soon as I can. But that'll probably be one of those, you know, along with the beautification issue, or when I get to that point. Okay, did I really miss it? There. Okay, let's check our, we just checked school, so let's move on to police. Let's add a few of these. I'm going to put these near the main roads. That should serve that area. I'll put another one up here. And ideally, there's going to be one near the university, sort of like the campus police. I don't really have a smaller one. I mean, that's... Yeah, the footprint on that is smaller than the medieval one that I like, so I'm going to put that just because I want it as small as possible, sort of like campus police. And I'm going to put that over near the housing. How are we over here? I think we need another one in this region. Oh, we have more abandoned buildings because everyone is super needy. Then we'll get back to dealing with whatever they need. Okay, why did you build it if you didn't want to keep it? Real grumpy about these people. Okay, they need power because apparently they decided to build right next to the power lines, since that is, you know, a smart way to do things. Yeah, that one's my bad. I know I put that in the wrong place as I'm complaining. But why did they build just next to the grid? Building is burned down. Well, I'm in the mood to destroy things, so there you go. Okay, we were checking police, right? I think we're pretty good with police stations. The purple ones are active. They cover most of the areas. I'm going to put one on the wall highway there. Oh yeah, today's flavor of fizzy beverage is passion fruit, which is very good, but it is no coconut. I've said it before, coconut is the winner out of all of those fizzy drinks. Coconut, hands down, but that one is probably second or third of my favorites. Okay, so getting back to the police stations, I think there needs to be one down here, and of course, something is abandoned, so why not, since we're in the mood to destroy. Oh, that just needs power. Oh, I put one there, it just doesn't have power. Well, these people can be extra safe, how about that? That one has power, good. That does not have power yet. So this is the parking area that leads to the arena. There's not anything really that needs to be built there, but I wanted to have power nonetheless. Why don't these people have power? What's our availability? Okay, we are actually getting a little bit low on power. And there is solar and wind power primarily in the book. You'll see there's a big wind turbine there. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I could see, granted there's pollution in the game, but I could see a case for a solar plant in the Parks District, in that it's not like a major industrial center, but it's sort of a very clean area. I know that there is pollution that comes with placing one. Let me actually see. Where's the noise pollution? Where did noise pollution go? Here we go. Yeah, see, there's a bit of noise pollution that comes with it, but that's not exactly what I picture it looking like in the book. That being said, I like the idea of a solar plant sort of being in the park to feed, you know, a natural way to provide power to areas throughout the park. So I'm going to place that there, even if it doesn't look exactly like I would hope, and that should start providing power to all these people. Yep, there we go. Perfect, and that will fix that grid problem and hopefully make people happy. Why is that? Okay, that's funny. That one little spot there that doesn't have water. I thought my availability was off, but no. I just messed up one little spot. That should fix that. I do want... It was in my custom assets. Sorry, I'm just looking for it here. See if I can't add one more. There we go. And then maybe I'm going to throw some trees back there. I will be using the oaks. Which ones are the oaks? Okay, brush. A little bit larger. There we go. And let me shrink it just a touch. Okay, let me go back to the paths and just connect some of these. Let me turn Anarchy on so that I actually can connect them. There we go. Gonna use some curved ones again. Nice little walking path through the trees and around the gardens here. So this, again, is around the temple. Are there sidewalks there? Yeah, maybe I'll just have one that comes up to the sidewalk here. Yeah, that actually, cool, I like that. I didn't know that it would conform to the sidewalk, but I think that, yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with the way that looks. I'm going to go ahead and save before I screw anything up because I keep forgetting to do that. There, I think the temple's looking a lot better than I had anticipated. So why is this not getting power? It's right next to the power line. That should do it. So is anything actually happening up here yet? I don't see much growth. A few, but that's okay. It will happen, I hope. Okay, we are checking on police. That is okay. I want to put one in here, and ideally this is going to be a large one. And that should service most. Now let's move on to fire. How is our fire? Yes, I know forest is a large fire hazard, but that's can't really avoid that. I'm going to put a fire department up here near the university. And I'm going to put another one along here, and then I'm going to put a small one that connects near the school and the cul-de-sacs here. I think we need one down there as well, and maybe on the main road. I think that's a good idea. So fire is decent. Let's put one up there next to the police station. And let's see if we can't bring the power lines across the street there. Perfect. Why does that need water? So that should get its power. Yeah, I think I need to, well, connect that for one. We need more, just a tiny bit more water. So pumping station. Okay, that looks like... So that poo water is doing things that I didn't plan it to do. Yeah, I was hoping that the flow from the river here... I have water sources this way. I was hoping that they would flow out, but it looks like for some reason the flow just sort of stagnates there. I don't know why that is. Yeah, but that's okay, I guess. People right there can have a little bit of poo water. That's not a problem, I guess. This here is, since it's the industrial district, I don't really see a problem having the wastewater there since nobody drinks it and it's near all the ships. And usually at harbors where there's a lot of shipping, it's not clean water anyway. And make sure that's getting power. That's why I'm not too concerned with that, having a bunch of real nasty poo water along the coast up there. But here, that is a problem, and I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, this is the one that I need to connect. Hopefully that will fix the water problem up there. Why is that not working? It should be working. Maybe I don't have enough power on the grid up in this area. Yeah, let's add some more windmills. It just must be too far. Reason why it's not getting power, but it shows everything is receiving power there. Let me just see what happens. If maybe it's just... Okay, just wasn't connected. I guess we did have enough power, just wasn't connected entirely. This, on the other hand, is also working. I don't know what was going on there. Cross over the highway. Oh. Apparently that doesn't want to... There. That should do it. Okay, how is everything else looking? Are people... What's that little symbol mean? Not operating. Not enough customers. Lovely. Yes, my city is falling apart faster than I can fix it. That's what I was hoping for. Cheers to that. But in the meantime, we're checking out fire. No power or water to that, of course, because nothing is built up around that. Let's drag some power out there and water. Let's go ahead and connect these up. There, that should do. Of course, I actually missed the thing that I'm aiming for. That's no big deal though, right? So while I'm fixing all this little nightmare here, I want to talk a little bit about what I have been reading and playing. So as I've been mentioning quite a bit, I've been playing Zelda and Dragon Quest VII on the DS. I officially put Dragon Quest aside. Okay, so the game has 4 chapters. 4 chapters for the whole story. I'm on chapter 2. Have not made it to chapter 3, and my game timer is about 68 hours. Yeah, so it's time to put that aside. I love it, but I need to do something a little bit different. So I grabbed my copy of Pokemon Sun, and I have resumed playing that. Also, I recently picked up Ukulele for the PS4, and as much fun as Zelda is, for the past week, I'd say, I've actually put more time into Ukulele than I have with Zelda, since I am a sucker for platformers. I don't care how old it is, how good it is, how bad it is. I try and collect as many as I can. I actually went to, we have a used game store, a couple of them nearby, and I picked up a copy of both of the TAC games on the PlayStation 2, and I've been playing through those off and on as well. So how's our power situation doing? And we have more abandoned buildings. Lovely. So that's what I've been playing. I've been playing Ukulele, which I absolutely adore, and Pokemon on the 3DS. So those are my, other than Kerbal, when I've been streaming that, or Cities here. Those are my go-to games lately. And I cannot recommend those enough Ukulele enough for people who like platformers. It is everything I would hope it to be. It was well worth the wait to me. So what do we need to do to pick up this city a little bit? So why is it not growing faster? That's what I want to know. I'm sort of getting to that point where I'm stuck and I don't know how to expand it, since I think everything that I have is zoned. And I have power to everything, so why isn't the city growing faster? That's what I would like to know. Is it that I don't have enough connections coming to and from? Is it the highway's fault? Are people just not interested in it? Is there not enough... are there not enough roads coming into and out of it? I don't know why it's not growing. If anyone wants to tell me, please do so, because people are leaving the city, which... Yeah, let's not even talk about that. They're leaving the city. And I don't know why. So please tell me how to fix my city. See, we have more buildings to destroy. Wow, we have quite a few here. So what can I do to make these people happy? I mean, I'm checking the resources, and it looks like fire is still good, right? So that... okay, I guess I don't have many fire departments in this region, so my bad on that. Add a few, that might help, but I don't really think that's going to fix whatever's going wrong here. Yeah, I just need to get people interested. I don't know. I need to entice them. I have parks. What more do they want? I guess everything is the answer to that. They want everything, and I can't provide that to them. Let's see. Mayor just announced our most attractive city. Well, if it's the most attractive, why are people leaving? Maybe I just don't have the gameplay on fast enough. That might... I don't want to fast forward it because I don't want things to get out of hand, but I'm hoping that that's the problem why people don't like my dump city. You know, in the book it's not this bad. People like it in the book, but evidently it doesn't translate. So let's add some roads. Ooh, I like that curve like that. Yeah, that's quite nice looking. Ooh, yeah, look at that nice little natural curve. Let's see if we can't keep that sort of curve trend. Ooh, yeah, I like that it's automatically doing that. I don't know if it's because of anarchy, but I really like the way that looks. So I'm going to keep doing that. There we go. That might be a little too close. No, I think... Yeah, I'm going to delete that. I don't like how it overlaps. I don't quite like the way that looks. So let's... There. Not a big deal. Easy fix. What isn't an easy fix is getting people to actually move into the darn city. My population... Okay, 15,800. I'm going to keep an eye on that and see how that grows. If it grows, I should say. 15,880. I need to just consult my map to make sure I'm getting the right areas here. So that's housing down there. Most of this is a commercial area. So I'm going to put some high density commercial up here, some medium or some low there, and a little bit of office space right there. Then I'm going to go back to the high density housing. And let's see if this needs power. So as things grow, it should be close enough. Another abandoned building. It should be close enough that I can just stretch a line and fix that. But I mean, the city looks good. I don't know what the heck's going on. Who should I call if no one shows up to pick up the dead? Okay. Maybe we should start addressing the dead body problem. Knew we'd have to get to that one of these days. The old corpse problem. Building is not empty. Okay, I wasn't destroying that one. Yeah, let's fix the old corpse pilot problem. That, where is that? Is it in healthcare? I guess yes, since it's, shake my arm out here, death care, I guess. So what do we need? We need cemeteries. You probably don't want cemeteries up in the industrial area, but we might have to. Okay, so that's housing. We do want another one in the housing area. So obviously they serve certain zones. So let's put one up here. And what about a crematorium? How about one up there next to a cemetery? We'll put some nice little trees around that, I think. Yeah, let me... I don't, like I said, I'm going to do the beautification later, but I want to... Let's see. Make it look a little bit secluded. Maybe I'll put some rocks around there too after I add the oaks. Yeah, let me get some rocks around here. Find the ones that I want. Actually, I have the... Yeah, I think I'll use these. Ooh, that's... No, actually a little bit of large. Surface rock, here we go. Small. Yes, that's what I will put. Going to put a few... Just sort of a little bit more natural looking. To make it a little bit more private, the cemetery there, a little bit more peaceful. Let me go back to some of the in-game, or the standard rocks. That would rotate faster, that would be a little bit nicer. That's okay. I really like, so these are obviously mod rocks. I really like the way they look though. And let's see, I want to try and match that wall. Nope, that's way too big. Yeah, that's not the not the size I want. I thought I had another wall in here that wasn't quite so massive. Just don't recall where it was exactly. Maybe I can use that broken down one. That should be decent height. Oh, I want it straight. There. There we go. They do need power though, don't they? I do not think they have any of that. I don't want to take out the wall, so let me drag it from up here. Just cross over. There we go. So what else do we need? How are the corpses piling up? So cemetery and crematoriums are... Let's take a look. Buried, cemetery usage is low, availability is high. I don't think we need to add any more. Maybe I'll just throw one off the main road here. Okay, yeah, I think we're okay with that. People are starting to fill in there. That's a good thing. But of course... Okay, so why aren't those getting... See, wish I understood why they aren't getting power. It seems to be quite available. That I can understand. It's not connected. But this... let's see. Is that going to do anything? Yeah, I don't know what the problem was, but I guess it's solved through adding more power lines. Okay, how's our population? 17,000, 194, 211. Okay, it's going up, it looks like, which is finally what I wanted to be doing. See if there's anywhere else that's springing up that I need to start adding a lot of power lines. I think I'm going to drag one from the coast here. Maybe it's because I have anarchy on. It doesn't quite act the same. That might be the issue. But I don't want to turn it off because... but I'm guessing that that's what's causing the little bit of issue, is that having anarchy messes up how power is delivered through the lines a little bit. That's my guess. I don't know for sure, obviously. Oh! Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. I don't know what that was either. Police. Fire. Maybe it was a police station. It must have been a police station. Since it looks like there's a large space there. Okay, more abandoned buildings. Lovely. Thank you. Just keep moving out. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Except the population is increasing. A little tiny one there. I think these white ones are the empty ones. That's my guess. Yeah, it looks that way. I'm destroying as new ones are being built. That makes sense. People can't just, you know, move into the empty buildings or anything. I mean, I'm glad there's growth, but I'm not quite sure why they're building a brand new building right next to an abandoned one. It's not like there were corpses in it. Well, maybe there were, because that whole corpse delivery system hasn't really been fully implemented yet. I need to check the garbage situation next, I think. Yes, power good. Okay, more abandoned buildings. Did I just miss these, or are these recently abandoned? Okay, I think I could spend a whole episode just chasing down these abandoned buildings. Oops. Get back to the power lines and connect that. I will turn anarchy off, I think, when I use that, because it keeps destroying those buildings. What else do we need? Healthcare, death care is good. Let's start adding some monuments and wonders that fit in with the book that will encourage people to come. The castle. That will be in the capital district. Ideally, it's one of the old buildings. Cool. I like the way that looks. Oh, a mall. That's actually... I don't like that it's a modern mall, but since this is a financial marketing area up here, I think this is going to be a good place for it. Let me add some roads around it to make it easier to get to. Straight line, single, yes. Yes, I do know that it doesn't have power. So let's fill in a bunch of these roads. Actually, let me turn off... oh, never mind. I thought I could turn off the grid for the zoning, because it's a little hard to see, but no worries. I'm sure there is a way. I just don't know right off. Oh, sorry. Okay, I think that needed power. Yeah, that did need power. Let's drag the line over. That should be powering up soon. There we go. Nice. Lovely. Okay, we need to add more things that people like. What do people like? Neat little park that people like. Well, since this is the parks area, I'm going to put it up here next to the other park stuff, since... Yeah, that actually fits, you know, sort of a little bit of sculpture in there with the botanical gardens and the walking area here. I think that fits nicely. I'm hoping that adding all this is going to encourage people to move to the city as opposed to abandon their homes, but you never know. I'm going to put the observatory up near the university because the university is one of the largest and most important in the... it's the biggest in the province, and it's one of the largest in the entire country. So it would make sense. Actually, why don't I put it at the end of this road if I can? You know, I have a small idea to do with that. I want this road to curve around. Then let's... connect that. Kind of like the cul-de-sacs. Then we will take the observatory and we'll put it right there. I don't want industrial. Let's see, what would be good for that? Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that empty for now, actually. It does need power, though, right? Yes, it does need power. Oh, what's that? Sick person. I thought we had plenty of healthcare. What does brown mean? Does brown mean very unhealthy and ill? I guess so. Let's, well, I guess the school does need a hospital, sort of a medical center, so let's stick that there. And that should fix those real unhealthy people. Oop, what happened to the cursor? There we go. More abandoned buildings. Great. So I thought I had garbage. Isn't the garbage taken care of? Landfill usage, incinerate. Okay, I do need more incinerators, it looks like. Where do we need another one? Going to put another one up here on the coast. And let's see, the landfill should probably be near an incinerator. I think I'll stick it up there. Maybe I think I will put one right up here along with an incinerator to sort of service most of this area. Why is that out of power now? It looks like we need a little bit more power. Oh, I know. It makes sense to have it near the university. A solar plant is sort of... there we go. As part of, you know, I guess the university structure, there's, you know, astronomy and all sorts of things like that. So why not have a solar plant that the students and faculty can run? That should fix the issues here. Unless they just aren't connected. Yeah, let me drag this line over there, and that should fill out all of those pretty quickly. Maybe. Yep, there we go. Exactly. That's what I was hoping for. What else do we... Guess we need to bulldoze more buildings. What's the notification, please? Don't know what that keeps saying. Okay, abandoned. Oh, man. Have a lot of these. Oops, that was a road, wasn't it? Sorry. I'll give you your road back. Maybe they don't need a road there. Yes, I mean, the population is growing, but there are also a ton of abandoned buildings. I don't know how to counteract that. I mean, I have parks everywhere. I don't know what else needs to be in here. I wonder if I could put some high-density housing in the middle of the industrial district, sort of like worker facilities, if that would help. Let me destroy these, then I'm going to rezone some of it as high-density housing. So let's... what's a good way to do that? Let's go like that. Oh wait, that's commercial. Then that should help a little bit. That maybe will give some places for workers to live. Consult my map here again. I've showed you guys this before. My crude drawing of the division of all the districts. I want to make sure I'm getting that as close as possible as I can. Housing, marketing. Okay, so the housing district comes up to about here. So this is all housing. Yeah, this is all, that's the parks district. So all of this below, everything, oops, put that back. Everything below this is mostly housing. Obviously there are some commercial areas, so I need to continue the housing. And of course, those are abandoned. That makes sense. Okay, let's add a few more roads out this way, and I'll connect them. Oh, I don't want curved. Let's see. Now let's see how many we can throw in here. Again, not entirely straight, but as I said at the beginning, I actually like on principle, I like having it like that. Looks a little bit more natural, like the city's tried to grow into itself and couldn't do it it couldn't do it perfect as it expanded and changed over the years. Okay, let's zone this. We're going to do a little bit of high density and a little bit of low density. Alternating like that. There. Then we want some commercial to fill the rest of this. Okay, Thomas Jones, where do you live? What's your problem? Isn't there a way that I can find those people, I thought? Max Brown. Max. Oh, hey, that looked... Well, I'm glad you were saved by your smoke detector. How's this area doing? This looks like it's doing actually quite well. So how's our power situation over here? That looks good. Let me try running a line in here just in case this starts building up a little bit. Okay. Let me check my zoning. So everything that I have laid pretty much is zoned. I don't have all the roads finished, but everything is pretty much, let's see, crossroads. Okay, crossroads and traffic. I don't think that that's a high traffic area. Oh yeah, that is actually. What's going on there? Where are these people coming from? Oh, I thought those trees were cars. I was about to get nervous. What can I do to alleviate this? I think it's all these intersections here. I'm going to have to come up with plan B for that, aren't I? Let me see if I can hurry and tackle this problem before I have to end the stream. Save really quick. Okay, what have we got going on here? That's a 2-lane, right? That's all one way, is it not? Let's see what this does. People can go that way. That shouldn't cause any... let's see, why are people stopping? Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that one out, get a little creative there with my traffic flow issues. Everywhere else it seems to be okay, but obviously that's backing up a lot. And I know it's because of all these intersections. So I wonder if I can't delete a couple of these roads. And then what we will do is connect that and that, let's see, we still have too many intersections here. Let's try and reduce these just a little bit. Okay. So what is this going to do? Yes, I am a traffic expert, as you can clearly see. Where's my upgrade tool? Is that going to help at all? Let me just sort of fast forward and see what happens. I don't think that's much better. It might be a little bit better. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and make some one-way roads. I'll have to play around with that for next time. But I think that I'm going to wrap up today's stream right at this point, and I'm going to probably watch some tutorials on YouTube about how to expand your city faster, because as you can see, the population's growing. It's not growing fast enough, and I don't know what I can do. And obviously these buildings keep getting abandoned, so I'm going to watch some tutorials and come back and hopefully have a less crappy city next time and learn how to build it up. So I appreciate everyone for watching, and I hope you can join me on May 26th for the special event with my publisher. But until then, I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you guys have a great week, and look for more Kerbal streams coming up in the near future, and I will see you next Tuesday as well. So thanks a lot, everyone. I'll see you again.